Hi, I'm Dominique Charpentier. I work as a full-time composer and I'm here to help you with tips for aspiring composers. Today's tip, number 3, will be to find your own voice. I think that's one of the hardest things you will have to do as an artist. Indeed, what can you do to be unique as an artist? How can you achieve the fact that the listener will recognize your voice, your style, with the first notes he will hear? That's we will try to understand today. So if you take, for example, a band like The Weeknd, and especially the singer, I think when you hear the tracks, you can recognize quickly that's him. Because it's the voice, you know, the great voice, the catchy melodies of pop music, but combined with an 80s sound, you know, with a lot of synthesizers. And also you have the visual identity that comes along that, which is with a lot of, you know, colors like purple and things like that. So that's a band, a singer with a strong identity. And you can think also about, of course, for example, Lady Gaga, which is with an artist with a strong identity, especially visual identity. So if you take my music, for example, I would say my identity is more about soft piano sound, a bit of melancholia, nostalgia, simple melodies, simple harmony, but still with a lot of emotions and a bit of cinematic style and a lot of tenderness, sweetness, you know. I would define it like this, but that's not my role to do that actually. But that's what my fans say when they listen to my music, and they say that they instantly are imagining pictures, you know, like kind of movie happening in front of them. So how can you do to achieve that if you're just a beginning composer? Because it's not easy. It took me a long time to achieve a kind of identity, you know. And I would say the thing you have to do is the opposite of what I told you in my previous video, which was to learn from the masters. So I advised you in the previous video, when you start composing, to take some elements of a song you like or a track you like from a composer you admire, and take elements as he or she does, and then add or do something else with other elements of the track. For example, you take the rhythm, the same rhythm, but you change the melody, or you take the same melody but you change the harmony, something like that. So that would be the first step. But then, of course, what you have to do is to do something that's your own, that's new, something else. So you can do on a very practical thing. What you can do is try to do the opposite. So not to take the elements of the composers you like. So for example, I like a lot Yann Tiersen, who is one of my biggest inspiration. Not now, but when I was a beginning composer. And I would always do some kind of tracks like he does, you know, with little valse and melancholic melodies and everything. So today, some of these elements I still do it because I choose to do it. So when you do your own music, you can of course take some elements that other people use, but try to do it because you want to do it, and know that you are taking the same elements. You know, don't do it without knowing it. That's one thing. And the other thing is to do something else. So for example, I don't know if one of the composer you like uses 4/4 time for the time signature. Maybe you can try something else. Maybe try a 3/4 time signature, maybe try 6/8. I don't know. It's a start, you know. Then, if the composer uses the piano in a very technical way, you know, very impressive, maybe you can do something else. For example, I know what I was a beginning pianist. I loved Chopin and Schubert, and I loved all the very difficult pieces, you know, with a lot of impressive scales and arpeggios. But now I don't do that anymore because I'm focused on something else. I'm focused on emotion and playing very softly on the piano, and that creates a very different composition, you know, how you play the piece. So that's an example, and if you want to achieve your own voice, you have to do that. So take things from the artist you like, but if you want, but take it knowing that that's the same, but try to use it a bit differently, and also use other things. So do the opposite as what they do, for example. So that's on the practical thing. But then, if you think more about the theoretical ideas, you know, if you don't have any idea how to be unique, maybe just you can start by thinking about who you are and what do you want to show to other people, what do you want to share with the audience. So try thinking about this. For example, I know I want to be very honest with my fans. I don't want to put too much show, you know, like for example this video, I'm in my living room and that's about it. I don't use a lot of fancy stuff, and that's exactly what I want to share with my audience, something honest. So that's an example, but think about what you like, who you are, and what do you want to share with your audience, and I think that's a good start to find your own voice. And don't forget that nowadays your identity is not only the sound, it's also the image, the visual identity. But that will be the topic of another video. But don't forget, when you create your music, for example, you will think about it very easily. You need, for example, an artwork, you know, to put on Spotify or Apple Music. So once you finished your piece and you want to release it, you have to think about the artwork, the visual of your music, and of course, the image has to be in relation with the sound. But we will talk about it in another video. So thank you for watching again, and if you like my videos, you can of course subscribe and hit the notification button. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.